No? All right, I'll keep my money. Okay, so this is how we get water into our residential house, right? You can have a private or a public water source. The public is typically your utility, right? So whoever you're here in Cleveland, Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer, blah, blah, blah. They are the public suppliers of our water. So if that is the case, you're going to have a pipe that runs parallel to the houses running down every street. This pipe is called a water main. Okay. This pipe provides water for each house on that street. As you can see, there's a branch line that branches off from the water main and goes into each house. Okay. So the water main is basically running down the street parallel to each house. It branches off to actually supply water to each house. Okay, so our public water supply, we got our water main running parallel. Excuse me, right here, we have the water meter and also the shut off, right? So when you have public water, typically the water, if you've ever gotten your water cut off or cut on, they have that little key that they use to twist at the curb and they can turn on the water. I had a property not too long ago that flooded and I didn't know about it because it was vacant and I hadn't been there in about 2 or so weeks. And so it was like flooding, like raining in the house. And so one of the neighbors actually called the water company and they came, and because they couldn't get into the house, they just turned off the water at the curb. So that means that they stopped the water supply from the public water main coming into the house. And they also tabulated how much water I had not used, but was raining through the house via this water meter. Okay, so the water meter and then this main water shutoff is again how the water from the source is turned on or off to supply your house. And then the water meter obviously again keeps track of how much water you use, and that's how they determine how much they're actually going to bill you. Okay. The line continues on. For some people, the house main water shutoff will be on the inside. Here in Ohio, more often than not, it's going to be located on the basement wall that faces the street. So if you walk down into a basement, it's not going to be likely at the back of the basement. It's going to be because remember, they're running the line in from the street. So they stop at the first access point. So if this house had a basement, this would be the wall that you would likely find the main water shutoff. Again, this can be on the outside. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Christina from IF2 out in Cali, I think she said that she's seen them on the outside out there. So just know you may have to look as you're doing your exterior, you may have to identify the main water shutoff on the outside. Again, if you're inspecting a house that has a basement, more than likely it's going to be in that basement on the wall that's closest. So the water service pipe, and they talk about this on page 243, is what brings the water from the source to the house. Okay, so it starts at the water meter here and ends at the main water shutoff, which is how you control the supply of water into your specific home. Out here at the street, you control the supply of water from the source. But so you could turn off the main water shutoff in your house, but your house would still be receiving water supply from the source because this main water shutoff valve is still open. Okay, so the service pipe runs from the water meter into the main water shutoff, where you control the flow of water for your specific home, whether it be inside or outside. Water service pipe. Okay, starts at water meter, ends at the main shutoff. The water service pipe has to be a minimum of 1/4 of an inch, and it must be 12 inches below grade. That was a question on the homework, yes? 1/4 of an inch, or 3/4 of an inch, excuse me, and 12 inches below grade. Typically, it's made of copper, but there are tons of different materials that it could be, but most often it's going to be copper. Diego, where does the water service pipe start?
The water service pipe starts at the water meter and ends at the house shutoff valve.